Now, Patrick and I first met when we were both working on a problem known as naked short selling. It's phantom, counterfeit stock that was made possible by an antiquated clearing and accounting system and allowed for a whole lot of fraud. So here's my question, Patrick. Could blockchain reform Wall Street?
Absolutely. Started another company 7 years ago called T0, which is a blockchain Wall Street. It's a blockchain version of Wall Street. It's a lot like we just went through the election. In a sense, an antiquated election system, even just you slap some computers in it, doesn't mean it isn't antiquated and sloppy. An antiquated, sloppy, in terms of ballot integrity and voter ID and all that stuff, election system. So it's really quite parallel to Wall Street. In Wall Street, we, as you put it, an antiquated settlement system really allowed hedge funds to cheat. And I believe it opened up a vulnerability for foreign actors in 2008. Yes, a blockchain version of Wall Street has been built. The company in question is called T0, and it is the only, well, last I checked, it was the only legal place a company could issue a security, common stock, but instead of it entering it into the system as you know it, the traditional system, you could issue coins that represented stock on this T0 system. So that's live, it's legal. Some companies, some real estate companies are using it. I hear it's growing very rapidly, and so that's been done too.
Yeah, well, it's exciting. I think you were among the very first to offer any security of that type, and I guess you may be the only one to offer it even today.
Yeah, we were the first. We were the first, and I think we're the only ones offering it today. Other people are coming close, but they were the first.
Well, it's very exciting because then if I buy, I'm involved with a company that just recently had this massive spike in volume that far exceeded the float, far exceeded any normal trading. And I looked at that and I said, this looks like somebody is creating counterfeit shares through naked short selling, or using the Madoff exemption or using some other exemption. They're just flooding the system with stock, and that manipulates. That causes the price activity to be wild. It's not good for investors. It's not good for the issuing company. It's not good for anybody. So hopefully the blockchain can solve that, and I look forward to that. But what other areas? Let's look into the future. Go 20 years from now and share how we can expand liberty by adopting good technology. Describe a beautiful future for us.
The most beautiful will be if it takes identity, because blockchain supports a vision of identity that they call self-sovereign identity. Think of all the times, who controls your identity now? In a sense, the government does. But imagine when you go on Google right now and you surf, the average American, let's say, generates for Google, they have a saying in Silicon Valley, if a service is being offered for free, then you're the product, right? When you get to use Google for free, but really you're the product because they're showing you this advertisement and charging other companies for that. They're making, say, $200 a year off you. I should calculate what the real number is, but it's probably $100 to $200 off you by selling. As you surf and you reveal your habits and interests and such, they're selling that information. Imagine you could go on and surf and say, you know what, Google, I'll do that if half the money you make off my surfing, you're kicking back to me. If you don't, then I'm just anonymous and you won't be able to sell any of my, you'll be able to do things like that. You'll be able to control your information much more to your liking. All the information about you will be owned by you, not by a corporation or a government or a credit bureau, and you'll be able to share to your liking. So it's coming ultimately blockchain, and there's a company called, there's a system called Sovereign, S-O-V as in Victor, R-I-N as in November. Sovereign is the coin. If you're interested in that self-sovereign identity, you want to look at Sovereign.